coming, I thought. Is he here? Has anyone seen him yet?
I haven't seen him.
What are we supposed to get out, Josh?
12 assault bikes, and then I need 12 stations. Oh, that's fine. Sorry. Literally, you may assume that we're going to do a little bit of cardio this morning. We are going to be doing some aerobic capacity. Chris Hinshaw is going to be here to lead that. He's going to be in just a few minutes. So what I want you guys to do is that you need to familiarize yourself with where everything's located. We got the bikers here, the air runners, and then assault bikes are on the back pad. What we want from everybody right now is go ahead, pick a machine to start on. It does not matter which. You're going to go a minute at an easy pace. This is the time that if you've never used an air runner, familiarize yourself with it now because it can be a little tricky. We'll be walking around helping you guys out with that. Figure out the settings that you need on the bikers if you haven't used those, and then the assault bikes as well. We've got some elite bikes which are a little bit different than the classic bikes. So just make sure settings on the seat and everything feel good there. I want you guys going through 1 minute on each. You got 2 rounds of that. So get comfortable with them, then we'll meet back here, and Rich will take you through the rest of it. So let's have a good morning. Good morning. She's got the warm-up right on the board for Rich. No. I just had him go a minute.
So you're going to do 1 minute easy, and that's why it says record the total meters on the final 1 minute. So whatever you do in that final, you're going to do double.
Okay.
And it's going to be centered around that. So everybody's going to have their relative intensity, their distance, based upon their own score. So you can't get off of the air runner until you do your distance, and your job is to get that done as fast as you can. As soon as you get done, you rotate.
Gotcha. Okay.
The person on the air runner is the key on the rotation.
Okay.
So after the air runner, what I want to do is a heavy depot hold, which will be up to a minute. If that
Good morning.
Good morning. How's it going, Ben?
Good. How you feel after that workout yesterday?
It was a hard
and
workout.
Thursday.
They were really hard.
You could bury me. I'm really sore.
I did not bury her.
My arms are like
That is not true.
How many bench presses did you guys get?
204.
Oh.
It's 100 each.
Yeah.
No big deal. I think she probably did.
Nope, I didn't do any more. Hell no, I did the same. Yeah, 3 times.
No. I was. Mine were max effort.
That's really wild, actually. That's a lot of reps.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling it too.
Rich and Chase got like 277 though.
They did dumbbells though.
Yeah, 50-pound dumbbells.
I feel like
Please.
Nice.
Not the same at all.
I'm trying to establish the math behind you, Ben.
Oh,
like,
okay,
I saw
sorry.
54 seconds and I'm like, oh no, you're not in the way.
That's the warm-up.
You what?
That's the warm-up.
This is.
I think it's that one.
This is incredible. Everybody has a clipboard and a piece of paper? Yeah. Sweet. Okay, well, again, so my name is Chris Hinshaw, and I've been working with Rich since November 14. Yeah, he invited me out here in winter time. Matter of fact, he was in Santa's sleigh at the Cookville Holiday Parade. Yep. That's what I remember. Yeah, I loved it. Loved it. This is an incredible opportunity for me to be able to be a part of what's Rich doing. I wanted to deliver something of significant epicness, and I think that you're going to really like what we put together. This is a giant playground. We've got lots of pieces of equipment. We have a lot of people, so we're going to use a lot of equipment for you guys. The workout that we're going to be doing is going to take less than 30 minutes. The warm-up is about 30 minutes, so total door-to-door is about an hour. We're going to do a workout that helps us define easy, moderate, and fast. So a lot of questions I get on the Mayhem Aerobic Capacity program is, how are you defining easy? How do you define fast? How do you define high intensity or low intensity? How do we define moderate? And so we're going to do that today. We're going to really dive into those details so you can get a better idea of what is that stimulus, okay? One of the things that you have to recognize is all 3 of those movements that they have in common is the hip flexor. Most CrossFit athletes have weak hip flexors. That's why they have a difficult time in swimming, because they can't kick. Their hip flexors fail. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by warming up our hip flexors. What we're going to do is we're going to do this warm up right here on the top It's going to be 5 rounds, and each round is 1 minute. We're going to do 12 seconds on my watch, Russian twists as fast as you can with the plate. So for me, I would do this workout with a 25-pound plate. I want your feet off the ground. You're going to pick up the plate, and it will be 12 seconds as fast as you possibly can. When I yell time, you put down the plate, you sit back, and you just go slow, recovery, knee to chest. You're allowed to allow your feet to hit the ground if you want. If you want to lay down on the ground and ultimately do a bicycle kick, that's fine. But for the best of the best, they'll keep their feet off the ground the entire time. Now, I've never made it that far. I rarely ever see anybody make it that far. You guys got a long weekend ahead of you, so there's nothing wrong with allowing the heels to click. With 5 seconds remaining in each round, I will yell 5 seconds. That's the cue to pick up the plate and be ready for the next round. Okay? So again, I do this with a 25. It's 5 minutes of work. There is no rest. I want you to grab a plate and we'll just meet over on the turf. Make some room for yourself. It's all about a high intensity into a low intensity. So your 12 seconds of Russian twist with the weight is a sprint. When you switch, you get 48 seconds of recovery. All right? You're going to find out though that you're not going to recover because you've never done 5 minutes of Russian twist hip flexor work, and it's going to turn into a muscular stamina failure. Okay? Round 4 will be your tough one. All right, let's just do this. Here we go. We're gonna go in 3, 2, 1, go! Fast. You guys gotta move. Feet up, feet up. Go. 3, 2, 1, go! Move. Feet up, 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 up. Fast.
Come on, boy.
Come on, boy.
Come on, boy.
So if you are amazing at standing on the bike erg, then you should do more volume in the same amount of time that somebody who's never stood on it. The assault bike, what we're going to do is always 3 1-minute rounds, but on the assault bike, I want you to start by doing 54 seconds easy. The reason why it's 54 is you're going to do at the end of that 54 a 6-second max effort sprint. And what I want you to look at is what is the peak RPMs you see during that 6 seconds. This is what we call a power test. What is your maximum wattage that you could hit? But we're going to look at it in terms of RPMs. You're doing that 3 rounds through, there is no rest, so it's 54 seconds easy, and then 6 seconds at maximal intensity. You need to record on your piece of paper the highest RPMs that you see on the monitor in any one of those 3 tests. You're going to run 1 minute, and what I want you to do is record during your 15 seconds of rest how many meters you ran in that 1 minute of easy. So people want to know what easy is. So for Rich on the air runner, you're probably what? 8 or 9 kilometers per hour. Okay? So what I want you to do is record the number of meters that you get in that final round. That's the most important. So if you get 75 meters in that 1 minute, then write down 75. All right? It is easy. The definition of easy is you have no physical, emotional, or mental anxiety. All right? You can carry on a conversation if you wanted to. When most people run, for example, Rich, when he runs, he takes 180 steps per minute. That's 90 RPMs. So the most transferable RPMs for Rich on the assault bike is half of his running cadence. So if he runs at 180 steps, that's 90 RPMs. Rich never runs at 100 steps per minute or 50 RPMs. You want to transfer as much as you can to other pieces of equipment. So I need you above 80 RPMs because no one in here runs at a cadence slower than. Now, what I want you to do is, I would like you to start at a damper of 1. And I want you to stay at a damper of 1. I want you to focus on what is the RPMs that you can sustain at a moderate intensity. For Rich, it's probably closer to 95, 100. Right? Always on a damper 1. Now for your 15 seconds standing, you're going to all go to a damper of 10. Now the reason why we do standing is because, like I said, transferable to running, but what we also do is practice the cadence that we would typically see on the assault bike. So for Rich, a moderate RPMs on the assault bike, something that he can sustain for 10, 15 minutes, is somewhere in the 60, 65 range. So what Rich wants to do is throw it in a damper of 10 and match up his cadence to what he does on the assault bike, meaning standing at 60 to 65 RPMs and then riding the assault bike at 60 to 65 RPMs. Does that make sense for all you guys? Partner 4. Partner 4. What you're going to do is you're going to do 3 minutes of heavy D-ball, ground over shoulder, that's the movement 1. And then what you're going to do is finish out that minute holding the D-ball. You are then going to rest, and I'm going to help you guys because we got to look at this weight. And we're going to then rest for probably 30, 40 seconds and do that one more time. The whole purpose of this D-ball warm-up is to find a weight that you can carry in the workout. Because the workout, you're going to do 1 minute D-ball holds. All right? Record your fastest, your peak RPM. Your peak RPM. You know, I'll tell you a story about Haley Adams. So Haley Adams at the CrossFit Games, when she won in dominating fashion as a teen, there was a workout that had biker and then it went into burpees. And in the end of the biker, with the last 45 seconds to go, Haley stood and someone asked her, well, what'd you stand for at the end? And she said, because in the burpee we have to open up our hips. And if I'm seated like this, my hips aren't warm. So by me standing, I'm priming for the burpee. Oh, wow. That's a forward-thinking teenager. Smart. Time! Woo! All right. So for Rich, if he's at 60 RPMs out there, he must be on a damper of 10 at a 60 RPM standing in here. As soon as the assault guy taps the person on the biker, they're going to switch over to the runner. You are not allowed to transition until you get tapped. So you are done as soon as you have completed 7 rounds at your distance on the air runner. Any questions on that?
Hey, what we're gonna do is in your group of 4, everybody grab a machine or a D-ball, and you're just gonna make a row where we're not running and walking and don't know whose machine is whose. It's gonna be exactly this flow.
Like a competition. Get it close to your station. All right?
Cool.
of all, nice job on that warm-up for your Saturday. What's Rich doing is, it's not a vacation, right? But one of the things that's important for me is I want you guys to learn something. Why did you do what you did? And Jake and I, we get a lot of questions about easy, moderate, and fast. And part of it is that every single thing that you do needs to have a purpose. Like, why are you doing it? So CrossFit has this whole methodology centered around high intensity, but most people don't know what's the physiological adaptation of high intensity. Like, what are you trying to accomplish by doing high intensity? And then more importantly, like, how do you define high intensity? What is it? Is it based upon what? A load that you're lifting, a speed that you're running? What is it? And so that's what I want you guys to understand in this workout. High intensity, what it is a physiological adaptation that's targeting your aerobic capacity, your ability to bring in oxygen and consume it as a fuel. That's what you're really trying to do. The more oxygen that you can consume and use, the higher your VO2 is. The best way of creating a VO2 adaptation is high intensity work. That targets your aerobic capacity. So what is high intensity? How do you define it? So it's a 6-minute time domain and shorter. So anything that you do at a 6-minute intensity or shorter, meaning if Rich runs a mile at maximum intensity in 6 minutes, then any speed that is at that speed or faster is targeting his VO2. It is considered high intensity. And there is a unique correlation between high intensity and easy. It's 50% of the effort is easy. The problem is that I made you guys do easy first, and you weren't listening. I told you this is a speed that you could sustain for an hour. Yet I walk around and I look at clipboards and I see 200 meters in 1 minute. 200 meters in 1 minute for an hour at that pace, that means that you could do a 12,000 meter run on the air runner in 1 hour, and that's easy to you. Good luck. So what we want to do is we've got to make sure easy is what we're calling. It's easy. It's recovery. And so when you think about fast, always think about fast in the sense that, could I do this same speed and what would it be relative to my easy? So if you do 200 meters in 45 seconds, then you should be able to do 100 meters in 45 seconds. Right? We get you to do more work in less time. So now the moderate. How do we define moderate? Moderate is a sustainable intensity that you could hold on to for 20 to 30 minutes.
All right, since you guys made Chris mad, you're gonna be punished. No, just kidding. Thanks, Chris. Grab whatever you, so we're gonna do some dumbbell squat snatches and some bar muscle ups. So go ahead and get whatever you need for that. We'll stay with our partners and then we'll explain the workout. But go ahead and get your stuff. Like I said, we're already warmed up. Got a little bit more fitness to do before lunch anyway, so let's go ahead and do it. Then we'll have you sit this one out.
Thank you very much, actually. I'd be indebted.
Zed's over there. You know, coach, blah, 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 blah. Is there a time cap?
Yeah.
Talking the whole time he's supposed to be on the bike. I was like,
I was still on the bike.
Nice.
Just
No, you weren't. You're standing by.
I was standing on it.
No, I don't think you were. I don't think you were.
That was strategic.
Strategery, huh? All right, so we're gonna go with our partner. We have like 100 pull-up bars in here, so we shouldn't have to do 2 heats. We're just gonna do 1 heat. The way it'll work is you're gonna go 3 sets, 5 minutes.
Sorry.
It's gonna be 12 dumbbell squat snatch. If you can't squat it, don't squat it. If you feel like you're gonna hurt something squatting it, be smart. And then we're gonna go 8 bar muscle ups. If you can't do bar muscle ups, we're gonna go 8 burpee pull-ups, okay? So it's gonna go 5-minute AMRAP. First partner's gonna go the whole 5 minutes, while the second partner is resting 5 minutes, or while you're going, and then you're just gonna switch. So 3 sets each, so 15 minutes of work, 15 minutes of rest in there. Cool? Prescribed weight, we'll use that term loosely, or is gonna be 170 pounds. We want it heavy, so go ahead, start warming up. figure out what dumbbell you're gonna use. If you wanna kind of warm up by the dumbbell rack so you kind of have an idea of what dumbbell you're gonna use, go ahead. You got about 15 minutes of warming up, then we'll go. Let's meet back here at 2:15. Gives you an hour and a half. Plenty of time to eat. We'll Q&A, so eat food. Don't worry about it. We're gonna, like, as soon as you eat, come back and make your workout really hard. So you got about an hour after you eat. Once you get back, Jim will talk through a little mayhem mindset stuff. So good work this morning. Chris's stuff is good. I love him. Makes it a little complicated sometimes. I'm like, just let's work. So it was good. That workout was hard, but so 1:45. So let's say 2:15. An hour and a half. Get some food. We'll see you guys back at 2:15. Cool.